Welcome to a brand new Minecraft survival world. How exciting! I always love popping into a new world and discovering things for the very first time. What's insane is that you just saw me create the world. This is an absolutely random seed, and somehow we have sheepies. Hi, sheepies. Hi. Hi, sheep. The first thing that every Minecrafter must do is punch a tree. So that's what we're going to start with. We're just going to punch down this tree. This is an oak tree. And little by little, as you punch trees or you gather different resources, you'll end up discovering new recipes. So as you can see here, this is my hotbar. You can see the different little boxes highlighting. So these are changing based on the number on my keyboard. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so I'm going to click on 1, and I'm going to go ahead and press E on my keyboard, and I'm going to open up my inventory, and this is your inventory crafting. It's very limited, so that's the reason why the first thing we want to do is grab our logs, plop them in here, and we want to grab 4 planks. So as you saw, new recipes unlocked. Woohoo! So now I'm going to right click and place 1 plank into each slot, and I'm going to grab the crafting table that I just made. And then I click escape, and now I'm going to place that crafting table because guess what? It's time to start crafting. So let me right click. I'm going to click on this book to open the recipes. And I usually like to click this so that it shows only what I can craft right now. And this list of craftable recipes is based on what's in my inventory. So I have some logs, and that means that I can make planks and I can make oak wood. So we're gonna make planks. I'm wanting to turn all of my logs into planks. So I just can rapidly click on that, or I can shift and then click, and it'll automatically put all of my logs into the crafting table menu. And now I can either click it once and just grab 1 set of planks, or I can shift and left click, and now I've got all 16 planks that I crafted from those logs. So as you saw, as soon as I grab those planks, now I have new recipes. This is so exciting because this opens up a world of possibilities. What I want to do now is craft some sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on that stick 1 time because I just want to craft 1 set of sticks. And now new recipes have been unlocked. So for me, what I love to craft first is a wooden pickaxe. So you just click on the item, it populates the crafting recipe grid, and now I have a wooden pickaxe. The last thing I'm going to craft for right now is a wooden axe, and I'm going to click escape. I'm going to click number 3 on my keyboard so that I can activate my 3rd slot on my hotbar, and now I can break the crafting table a little easier than I would just doing it with my bare hands. Okay, so I'm going to click number 2 on my hotbar because that'll activate my pickaxe. And now, the next thing I like to do in a new world is find stone. So as you can see here, we've got this like water area. I've got this mountain here. What's perfect about this area is the stone is already exposed. So this is stone. And this is going to turn into cobblestone when I break it with my wooden pickaxe. and I've made the advancement into the Stone Age. And now I've got new recipes. Okay, so the next thing that I want to craft is, or the next things that I want to craft are stone tools. You don't want to stay with wooden tools because they're really slow, they're really limited, and there are certain resources that I'll teach you about as we go that you cannot grab with a wooden pickaxe. You need a stone pickaxe to grab certain resources. So I'm just gonna grab several, cobblestone. I want maybe 20. And what's absolutely insane about this area that I've spawned in is I've already found some iron, which is crazy. And right here we've got coal. So, okay, I've got a couple of some cobblestone here. The next thing I want to go ahead and do is put my crafting table down, right click on it, and now I do need to make some more sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab all of those planks. I'm going to right click to break the stack in half, and I'm just going to put them one on top of the other vertically, and I'm going to shift click because I want all of those sticks. So now, as you can see, we have sticks and we have cobblestone, and that opens up stone tools. So I want a stone sword, a stone pickaxe, a stone axe, stone hoe, and a stone shovel. So these are all my stone tools. The reason why I want all of them is because they're going to make my life just a little bit easier. And I still have 10 cobblestone left here, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the furnace, and it automatically populates, and I'm going to grab the furnace, and now I have a furnace. And the reason why I want a furnace is because later I need to get food, because eventually I'm going to get very hungry, and food is going to be super important, and you need a furnace to cook that food. So now I'm going to use my stone axe. I'm going to break this crafting table. I'm going to look up at the sky because the sun looks like it's starting to set, and nighttime is scary. So there are going to be a few things that I need to do to quickly prepare for nighttime. Since I've managed to discover some surface level coal, I'm going to use my stone pickaxe, and I'm going to grab that coal. It was 1 coal. And the next thing I can craft now is a torch. So I can put a coal and a stick into my inventory crafting grid, and that makes 4 torches. The reason I want those torches is because as nighttime comes, I need to see what I'm doing, and I also want to protect myself from the darkness, because it's in the darkness where mobs spawn, monsters and things. Before it gets too dark, I'm going to really quickly use my stone pickaxe and grab these iron, because this is incredible. Some quick little iron here. These are going to be so helpful. Okay, the sun is starting to set. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, let's see, I'm going to jump up here. Where were those sheep? I did see some sheep earlier. Where are those sheep? I am recording this tutorial series in a fresh, brand new survival world, and I am intentionally doing it this way so that you get a very realistic game, a very realistic playthrough, something that's going to look just like your game. So I think that's a sheep. Oh gosh, it's getting dark. This is not good. I don't remember if bad guys, mobs, if they spawn on your first night, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my axe, and I'm going to jump. Oop, I missed. I'm gonna jump and left click because I need to kill this sheep because I'm gonna need some food and I need a piece of wool. Okay, it is way too dark for my comfort zone. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just dig into the side of this hill here, mountain, and I'm gonna go ahead and close myself in. And I have torches, so let me go ahead and put up a torch. Now in your game, that is the only thing that's gonna be different is I'm using an additional thing called Optifine, which you can easily grab Optifine. I have a video on my channel that teaches you how to install Optifine in order to have dynamic lighting and shaders. And that's the reason why I can hold my torches in my offhand. So I don't know if you saw. So when you don't have anything in your offhand, you just see your hotbar. But when you put something in this extra little slot here in your inventory, you now have an extra box here that is called your offhand. And later on, when we make a shield, your shield goes into your offhand, and that is how you protect yourself from mob attacks and different things. But that's later. We're not gonna worry about that right now. So right now I'm literally just, hello. I am waiting for daytime to come because my goal is going to be to get some more sheep because we need to make a bed. While I wait though, I can go ahead and do a little bit of mining to gather some more resources. This is something that you can take advantage of when you're hiding at night before you have a bed. You can start doing some mining because you're always going to need cobblestone when you first get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab cobblestone here. I'm just going to dig myself like a little hidey hole area. And now I'm going to go ahead and put my furnace down. So the way that I did that is I opened my inventory, I grabbed the furnace, I put it in my hotbar, and then I right-clicked to put it in place. And this is the reason why I like starting off with a few wooden tools, because if I don't have any coal here, I used the one coal to make some torches. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this wooden axe in here. You can use wooden tools as fuel. And I'm going to cook up this mutton. The only downside with wooden tools is that they don't last very long. So I am going to have to throw in this wooden pickaxe so that my other mutton cooks. And I might have to toss in a stick. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so I've got some food. Two food, better than none. That'll really protect me if I take any kind of fall damage or just any damage at all. I can eat that food and protect myself, heal myself back up. So I've actually got like a way that I like to organize my inventory. Everybody does it differently. Oh, I have a sapling. So this is a oak sapling. When you plant this, you'll get a tree, an oak tree. I'll show you how to do that later. So far here though, I've got 3 raw iron. Now I would put these in here, but the thing is I don't really have any fuel. These sticks, I don't think they're going to be very helpful. I can definitely try, but I don't think they're going to do much. I think I'll be lucky if I get 1 iron. Yeah, there we go. So I got 1 iron ingot, which is great, but yeah. So unfortunately, I couldn't finish. The reason why I want to hold on to these is because I am going to need them for when any of these tools break, because they do break. That you see these, this line, this green line, that's your durability. And as that goes down, it will change color from green, it'll go to orange to red, and then eventually your tool will break. So that's part of the reason why in the early game you want to have lots of cobblestone always, 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 because you're going to be crafting pickaxes and axes. You're going to be constantly crafting, especially these two tools, all the time when you only have, when you're in the beginning stages of using stone. So let me go ahead and take this out of my furnace. And I'm actually going to go ahead and break the furnace because, oops, is that the right tool? It is, okay. Oops. Break the furnace. I'm going to put it over here out of the way because this is not my home. I'm literally just hiding here to keep myself safe while it's nighttime. I'm going to break this piece of dirt here. I want to see where the time of day is. Okay, so it is very, very nighttime. So I'm just going to leave that little hole open. Okay. I'm going to close it because I know that if a child zombie spawns, it can fit through a 1 block hole and it'll kill me. It'll literally kill me in like 2 hits. Okay. Let me put that there. Now, a few tips while we wait for daytime to come. If you hit escape and you click options and you go to controls, you're going to see this menu pop up here. Okay. I want you to click on keybinds, and if your mouse has that middle circular button that you use to scroll, I want you to scroll down to the section labeled gameplay. And then I want you to go to the part that says pick block. And over here, I want you to click on this guy here. And I want you to press the middle button on your mouse. And what that does is that makes that button on your mouse, it links that button on your mouse to the activity or the action of picking a block. And I'm going to show you what that does here. We're going to click done. We're going to click back to the game. So now, because I have that middle scrolling button on my mouse linked to the action of picking a block, I can click on dirt and it will automatically put the dirt that is in my inventory into my hotbar, into my hand. So now, as you can see, I have dirt blocks in my active hand. So let me show you that again. So here I've got dirt, and it's only because the way that the pick block works is whatever you have in your inventory, if you click on that same item outside of your inventory, dirt, for example, it automatically takes the dirt, for example, that you have in your inventory and puts it in your active hand slot. So let me put the dirt back and I'll show you now. So I've got my active hand is on slot number 2 where my cooked mutton is at. When I click on the dirt, it automatically plops me over to slot 6, and that's where it put the dirt, and that's now my active hand. So that's just like a really quick little tip that makes your gameplay easier, and you're going to notice later on when we're actually building our starter house, being able to just click that button on your keyboard or on your mouse to pick up a block that's out here. Oh my gosh, it's going to make it so much easier. So that's super helpful. So I hope that you find that helpful. So once again, we're waiting for the morning. Oh, here it is. Morning has come. So now we can dig our way out of that hole. Thank you, hole. You have served us well. Okay. So now we need to find those sheep. going to do a little bit of parkour here, jumping up. The way that I am jumping up these things is I am sprint jumping, and the way that you do that is by double clicking your W and then your space bar to jump. So let's take a second, click escape, click options, click controls, and in this menu you see auto jump. Make sure that it says on. If it says off, you need to click that, because if your auto jump is not turned on, you're going to have to press the space bar every single time you want to jump up. So rather than automatically jumping up, you're gonna come up to a block and you have to, oh my gosh, that was a creeper. Bro, that scared me. So yeah, that will happen. That will happen, okay? So what just happened to me will happen to you, I guarantee it. So a creeper just blew up next to me because I didn't see it there. Creepers spawn at night, just like other mobs, and it blew up and it almost killed me. And this is why we need food. So now I'm gonna eat because I need to heal up. That scared the crap out of me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you're here. You will have to press the space bar in order to jump up things if you don't have auto jump turned on. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna save that last piece of mutton until I either really need it, until I really need it, because the only other animals here, well, actually I could kill some chickens. Okay, so I'm gonna jump, left click, and that's gonna allow me to kill the chicken in one hit. You might think, gosh, killing animals, this is devastating. It's the game. It's the game. You don't have to survive off of animals. You can just survive off of like vegetables, bread, carrots, potatoes, but it takes a little while to get those, so it makes sense to start off killing just a few animals here and there so that you can survive. So we're actually going to be doing a little bit of multitasking here, because on our journey to find more sheep, we can do a little bit of resource collecting. I'm not going to do too much just because I don't want my inventory to fill up, because once all these slots are full, that's it. You can't carry anything else. Now, you've probably noticed something new has landed in my inventory. This is called wheat seed. And the way that I got this wheat seed is I broke a piece of grass. And you're going to notice that not every grass you break gives you wheat seed. It's kind of annoying, but there is just like a probability of, like, there's like a chance. So like there, I broke like 5 and I got 1. So there's no like real math to it. It's called Minecraft logic. I'm sure that there are websites that can tell you what are the percentage probability that you'll get wheat seed from breaking grass. But here I've got several wheat seed now in my inventory. And what's great about having these wheat seeds is that I can plant these and I can get, you guessed it, wheat. And then when I have wheat, I can then turn that into bread. And you're gonna, if you're so new to Minecraft that you've never even made bread before, you may be surprised at how bread is made in Minecraft. So that's why we crafted this stone hoe, because eventually, once we're ready to have a little starter camp, we are going to use that hoe to till the ground and plant a wheat seed. That's how that works. Now, if I were to just leave this like this will actually take a while, but eventually it will grow. If I had water next to it, or within at least 5 blocks of it, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I had water sitting at least 4, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would need water to be right here in order for this wheat to grow faster. But since I don't, it's going to take a long time to grow. You'll notice when you use your hoe, if you don't have water next to the tilled ground, it will eventually dry up and turn into dirt. So as you can see, that's just one example. There you go. So dried up, turned to dirt. So because I have that middle button on my mouse linked to pick block, I was able to click on this dirt, and it automatically put the dirt that I have in my inventory into my active hand. So that's just one like reason why you want to have that button linked on your mouse. Okay, let's continue on our journey. We need to find sheep, we need to make a bed, and we also need some more food. So killing those sheep will be helpful because we need more food. In the meantime, I will kill some chickens. There we go. I'll kill some more chickens, and eventually I will be able to cook them. So for now, I have to be super, super careful. I don't want to fall too far down because I will take fall damage. If you fall more than 4 blocks, you'll take fall damage. If you jump and you fall more than like 3 blocks, you'll take fall damage. So here we have a sheep. I'm sorry. Thank you for your donation to the cause. So now we have 2 pieces of wool, and we have another piece of raw mutton that eventually we can cook. Okay, let me really carefully just jump down here and find, there we go, another sheep. Woohoo! And I love sprinting, but it does use hunger. Jump and hit, and there we go. Now we have 3 white wool, and yeah, we got 2 pieces of mutton from that sheep. Thank you, sheep, for your sacrifice. So put that over there. Actually, I'm gonna just put that right there with my chicken. Put that there. Okay, we need one more ingredient to make a bed, and that is wood. So I'm going to chop a tree with my stone axe, and that should be enough for right now. I'm going to open my inventory, grab my crafting table, and place it with my right click. I'm going to right click on the crafting table to open it, and now I can put my oak logs into the crafting table. I'm going to shift and left click to grab all of those, to turn all of those logs into oak planks. And now, guess what? I can make a white bed. So I'm going to click, and it requires 3 wool and 3 planks. Now I have a bed. And that means that when nighttime comes, I can sleep. So I'll just show you, for example, you can right click the ground, put your bed down. Now, nothing's going to happen right now because it's not nighttime yet, but when you right click your bed, you will be able to go to sleep. So I'm going to pick it up for now because we're still on a journey. So I want to keep my bed with me because I want to be able to always sleep when nighttime comes. So let's get some more food. I didn't hit the pig hard enough. I don't like killing the animals. I really don't. But in the early game, it's a bit of a necessity because you have to be able to eat. The only reason why I don't kill sheep anymore once I have a bed is because I don't need to. If I want their wool, I can make a tool called shears, which I'll show you later how to make once we're at that point. But for now, I'm going to just get some more meat. Oh, look, I landed in water and I unlocked a recipe. It's a boat. Which means that now when I put down my crafting table, I can make a boat. So in this case, I can make an oak boat because that's the type of wood that I have in my inventory. If I had other types of planks, I would be able to make those types, a boat made out of those types of wood. Okay, sun is starting to set. You can also swim and kill fish. It's kind of harder to kill fish like this. It's a lot easier to make a fishing rod, which I'll show you how to make later once we have the ingredients to make it. But you can kill fish, and now I can cook that fish and I can eat it. Woo! What an adventure we've already had. I'm gonna put my bed down and see if it'll allow me to sleep, if it's late enough yet. So I'm just gonna press and hold my right click until it lets me sleep. Oh, there we go. Cool. Sweet dreams advancement. So now, because we have a bed, we can pass every single night without harm. That is probably the most exciting thing ever. At least in the early game, when you don't have any armor. Okay, so this is a naturally spawned beehive. It does have bees. Whatever you do, do not touch this until you have a campfire, okay? Do not touch this, because what will happen is if you break this beehive, it will disappear. The bees will be very angry and they will sting you. You will take damage and they will die. So don't do that. Don't break a beehive without silk touch, which is an enchantment. But also just don't try to do any activities with a beehive without a campfire. The things that you can do with a beehive is you can use shears to get honeycomb, or you can use glass bottles to get honey. But you don't want to do any of those things without a campfire. And I know it's probably unnecessary information right now, but just so you know, don't do that. There we go. So when you jump and left click, you do a critical hit, which causes more damage. So I've got a decent amount of food here. Now what I really need is a way to cook it. And so far I haven't really seen any more surface level coal. So here's a quick tip. Chop down some trees. Yes, this does deforest your world a little bit. What you can do is you can wait for the leaves to decay, and you can take your sapling and you can replant the tree, and there you go. You're giving back from what you're taking. So we're gonna just grab a bunch of wood. I'm just gonna chop down several trees. You're always gonna need wood. You're always gonna need sticks. You're always gonna need cobblestone in the early game. Wood is something you're pretty much always gonna need no matter what. But in the early game especially, wood, sticks, cobblestone. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get myself, I think I'm going to get myself maybe at least a stack of logs here, of oak logs. And a stack in Minecraft is 64. So as you can see, I have 31, 32, 33. So I'm going to wait till that says 64. And then we'll go to our next thing. Our next step. Notice that I'm intentionally only chopping the shorter trees. If I were to try to chop one of the taller trees, that's going to be a lot more work. I'm going to have to tower up in order to get these other logs. So I'm just chopping the shorter trees. And this is a birch tree. This is a good tree. There's nothing wrong with it. It gives you like a whitish yellow wood. The only reason why I'm not chopping that one right now is just because I I don't know, I feel like having just one type of log in my inventory right now, just to keep things simple for the sake of the tutorial. Of course, feel free to chop whatever trees you want to chop for whatever type of wood you want to use. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. I am almost there. Don't mind my voice. It's just getting a little crackly from talking. I'll have to sip some water in a moment. Oh, I'm picking them up automatically. So you're gonna notice as the leaves decay, they drop saplings and sticks, and oak trees will sometimes drop apples, which is super helpful when you need food because you can eat apples. They don't give you too much health, which is the little chicken leg symbol, but they do help. They give a little bit of health. Okay, cool. I actually ended up with a few more than I planned to get. So I'm going to replant these saplings just because I don't want to ruin the way this world looks. It's pretty. So here's sticks. So you don't have to plant all of them. The trees often will give you way more saplings than what you actually need. So they're actually good to collect because later, if you end up living in a biome that doesn't have that type of tree, you can just plant it and then you'll have that type of wood. Okay, so now that I have the oak logs that I wanted, let me go ahead and show you how to make charcoal with a furnace and wood. And that's what we're going to use to cook our raw meat. Because again, we don't have any coal in here. The one coal that we got, we were able to make 4 torches from that. But we need a way to cook our meat. And just straight up using like sticks or just a piece of wood, that's not really going to give us the fuel that we need to cook all of this efficiently. So what we have to do instead, let me just pick these up. So instead what we need to do is put down our furnace, and that was using your right click, the same way you put down your crafting table. And I actually see an apple over here, so I want to grab that a second because I don't want it to despawn. Like I said, like I previously said, apples are a good little snack when your hunger is starting to go down. Okay, so I'm trying to remember. I think yeah, there we go. So all I did there was I grabbed my stack of oak planks and I right clicked and dropped 1 into the fuel slot of the furnace, and it is turning each log into a piece of charcoal. And what's great about this charcoal is that we're going to be able to use it to cook our food. Let me see. Let me test something. No, that's what I thought. Okay. No. Okay, so I just wanted to double check that I wasn't missing something, because since I haven't done this process in a long time, I was confirming that the only thing that will become charcoal is an actual log. What's nice though is that you can save yourself some wood by burning planks, by using your plank as fuel for burning the logs. So that's really helpful to know. So it looks like 1 plank. Let's see. Okay, so approximately 1 plank gives you burns 1 log and gives you 1 charcoal. Okay, great. So we've got some charcoal. Also, note, charcoal can also be used to make torches. So if you're having a hard time finding coal, you can just make charcoal and you can use that for fuel and for making torches. The one thing that you do need to be aware of is that charcoal does not burn as efficiently as regular coal, but it's still an excellent source of fuel in the very beginning, early stages of the game when you don't have a ton of resources. Because so far, as you've noticed, what we have in our inventory here, this is everything that we own. We don't own anything else right now. Okay, so that's cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and put my bed down because the sun is setting and it's time to sleep. Okay, so it's another day. Okay, what I want to do now is I just want my food to cook. So I want to wait for the rest of my food to finish cooking. Something I often like to do is click shift, and then as soon as that pork chop finishes, I like to then shift click the next raw batch and shift click the cooked food out. So that way I don't waste any of my fuel. And this is something I tend to do in the beginning stages in the early game when I'm trying really hard to maximize my fuel, because it takes work to get this fuel, right? We have our wheat seed. We have some resources, which is great. So I'm just gonna organize my inventory a little bit here. I want all my food over here. Guess I'll put those things there. So we are running out of slots. Oop, I didn't pay attention. So this is great. So I can actually go ahead and eat my last mutton chop, which is going to be so helpful. And now I can put those pork chops in my inventory, in my hotbar, in my food hotbar. And there we go. I've almost got full health. Now I have full health. So look at that. I have full health. My hunger did go down a little bit in order to sort out my health, to finish filling up my health. Oops. Okay. Now we'll cook that raw salmon. Hopefully it'll cook with this last little bit of fuel. There we go. All right. And I'll go ahead and use that last little bit of fuel that's just left over in there to see how many more charcoal I can get. And you don't have to be like this. You don't have to do things like efficiently like this. You can really, the cool thing with Minecraft is it's very free for all kind of thing. Like, you really can do whatever you want. These are just my tips for getting started and maximizing your, oh, you know what? Here, let's use these. So I'm trying to use this fuel. I don't want to waste it. So I may end up putting another one in there. We'll see. Let's see if we can use this last little bit to get the last iron ingot. Oh my gosh, perfect. Okay, cool. I'm satisfied with that. Try to get one last more piece of charcoal. And let's see what happens. It's actually kind of fun to experiment and see how much you can get. But there we go. Okay. So I'm going to put my furnace there. And now we have 3 iron ingot. So I'm in my inventory here, and I see my inventory crafting menu, and you may have noticed that a new item, a new recipe has popped up. That's shears. Shears can be made with 2 iron ingots. I'm not going to make shears right now because The number one thing I highly, highly, highly recommend that you make when you first get iron is a shield. And that requires 6 planks and 1 iron ingot. And this recipe should automatically pop up for you just by having the ingredients in your inventory. If they don't, just look at the way it's laid out here in the recipe menu and then click. And this is the one item that I would keep in my offhand. Aside from having torches in my offhand, I would keep a shield in my offhand. And there are a few ways that you can move things on and off from your offhand. The first and quickest way is to click the letter F. And what that's going to do is swap the item that is in your on hand with the item that's in your offhand. And so as you saw here, that took the shield from my on hand and swapped it with the torches that are in my were in my offhand. So if I click it again, they swap back. The second way that you can switch things up is by clicking E and opening your inventory. And then as you can see here, the torches, this is my offhand. I can take those, I can drop them, I can click on the shield here, and I can take the shield and I can put it in my offhand. And of course, you can just put the torches wherever you want, or whatever you have wherever you want. You know, it's up to you, right? So I'm going to, for now, I'm going to keep my shield in my inventory because I don't anticipate needing it just yet, since I'm not planning to put myself in any danger that would require me to shield myself from an enemy. Okay, notice how the axe has this line here that's showing some red. So earlier I explained that this is your durability line. So now my stone axe is red, which means a few more hits and it's going to end up breaking. So I'm going to go ahead and use my crafting table to make another axe so that when this one breaks, I already have a backup axe. And I don't have to worry that I won't have an axe ready when I need one. And that is precisely the reason why I encourage you to always have a bit of cobblestone in your inventory and sticks in your inventory. When you're on stone tools, you're going to need to replace your tools regularly. Okay, so this is a really good timing with this Enderman. This guy right here, well, he just left. That dude's an Enderman. Those guys, they are harmless unless you, 1, hit them, or 2, look at them with your crosshair. So on my screen, you probably see this little plus sign looking thing that when I aim it at things, that's the thing that I'm going to hit or break. Like that's what I'm punching, right? So an Enderman will attack you if you put your crosshair on them, and if you hit them. If you actually hit them, they'll definitely attack you. If you look at them in the eyes, they will attack you. So don't do either of those things unless you are prepared to fight them and die or fight them and win. So they're really strong. So right now in our position where we don't have any armor, we have stone tools, we are super, super weak. We do not have the capacity to fight an Enderman and win. Okay. Let's see the next thing that is on our list to do today. So we've gotten started. We've got some torches. We've made some charcoal. We've cooked ourselves a good bit of food, which is awesome. We've got 2 iron ingot left after making a shield. We've got a bed. We have a furnace. We have a crafting table. We have a number of essentials. We even have some wheat seed. So I think next on the agenda is going to be to find a place that checks all of the starter base boxes. And for me, the type of place that I love to live at for a starter base is somewhere that has open space, such as a plains biome, somewhere that has water nearby, and somewhere that has a forest nearby. And lastly, I really, really love having animals nearby so that I don't have to do a super long trek to bring animals to my base when I start my farm. So I'm going to get up here. I want to get to a better vantage point. I want to kind of see where I'm at. Oh my goodness. We are in luck, guys. We found a village. So that's actually going to be a little side note here. We're going to go ahead and it's time to sleep again. That's the other thing too. The time passes so quickly when you're busy. It's so easy to lose track of time. So keep that in mind. That's the reason why when you're adventuring, you always want to have your bed on you, because you want to avoid getting stuck outside at night. That is, of course, if you don't want to get attacked. So let's do this. So we're going to head over to that village, because villages often have really great loot. And loot, simply put, good stuff. Good stuff. In the early game, we want to see if they have iron armor. We want to see if they even have diamonds. That would be really great too. Oops, I missed. We want to see if they have food. We do have food on us, but it would be great if they had wheat. Another great thing to look for in a village is, oh, there's an abandoned nether portal. Another thing to look for in a village is seeing if they have carrots and potatoes in their farmer gardens, because if they do, we can take a few of them. We don't want to take all of them, just because you might want to come back later and play with those villagers, which that's more advanced. We'll come to that eventually. But for now, we won't pay any attention to the villagers. Am I going the right way? Let me see. Oh, by the way, these dogs, any biome that you're in, if you see dogs, you can tame the dogs, and these are actually wolves, excuse me, I misspoke. So if you see these wolves, you can tame them and they will become dogs. They'll become your pet, and the way that you tame them is by feeding them bones. And you can get bones by killing skeletons, and then you take the bone and you right-click the bones onto the dogs, or the wolves. I don't know why I keep saying dogs. And from there, depending on how many bones they require, it just all depends. It's really random. Then you can end up owning a dog, and those dogs will protect you from skeletons attacking you. So let's see. That is a dark oak forest. You do not want to go in there without armor, because they're very heavily shaded. So even in the daytime, hostile mobs, which are the bad guys, they spawn and you can get attacked. So unless you're prepared for an attack, I recommend traveling on top of them. And you can do that pretty easily because the canopy of leaves is pretty connected. So anyway, I'm trying to see which direction it was that I saw that village. And I feel like I'm going the wrong way for some reason. Let's see. see if we can find it. Oh, here's another tip. No matter how far you fall from, if you fall into water, you won't take damage. So that's a really good thing to know. It's very helpful. Oh my gosh, I think, do I have, oh, I'm so silly. I thought I had made a boat, but I think I was remembering another occasion when I made a boat. I should make a boat. I'm just trying to be wary of my surroundings. I don't want to be surprised by somebody like I was earlier, getting myself blown up. Okay. Let's make a boat. And the recipe for that is really simple. If it doesn't show up in your crafting table right away, all you do is grab your planks and right click into the crafting grid and drop 5 planks and you'll end up with a boat. Okay. So all I did was right click on the water, right click the boat onto the water, and now using the same buttons on my keyboard that I use to walk and move around, I can navigate the boat. And here's the village, yay! Oh, this is so exciting. Okay, I just hope it's not a ghost town, because those do exist. Abandoned villages exist. Oh, it's not, I see a villager. Okay, this is a taiga village. So let me break my boat. The reason I know it's a taiga village is because spruce trees grow in taigas. And these villagers, the way that they're dressed, they are taiga villagers. Ooh, sweet berries. We love sweet berries. So definitely gonna collect some sweet berries, because later on, when we build our starter base, we can plant them and they can provide us with extra protection because they're prickly. And when you touch sweet berries, you take damage, and that means your enemies take damage too. So sweet berries are a really great thing to use as a border. And what's cool is that when you plant one sweet berry, they regrow. And then you can just right click to harvest and you'll have endless sweet berries. All right, my inventory is getting fuller than I'd like. I really don't care to keep these feathers, so I am gonna just drop them out of my inventory. And let's see. I like to keep dirt on me just because it's a really good tool for making a quick little bridge or towering up somewhere. So I think right now that's about the only thing I can get rid of. Okay, so I want to explore this village. I'm going to just go into all the houses. This is a cartography table, and the villager who works this table is called a cartographer, and they are a map maker. So with the cartography table, you can actually craft with it. You can make maps with it. And when you have a cartographer villager who actually works at the table, you can buy map related products from them. So here, they have paper in here. I'm not going to take the paper because right now it's useless to us, but that's good to know that there's paper in there. These are called grindstones, and later on, way later on, when we start enchanting, a grindstone is the tool that you use to disenchant a tool so that you can take the enchant off the item. Ooh, iron! This is what we want. An iron pickaxe. Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. An apple. That's awesome. So this is great. So now we've got a good amount of food. Let me do that. That's going to be super helpful. We will not use that until we absolutely need it. The reason is right now in the early game, getting iron is really hard. And so we want to hold on to that iron until, and yes, I am going to steal this guy's bed for the night just because it's going to be easier than throwing down ours. Okay. So the reason why you don't use your iron pickaxe right away is because until you've got enough iron to easily replace that iron pickaxe, or until you're at a point where you can enchant your iron pickaxe so that it lasts longer, you want to save it, because your iron pickaxe is the only tool that you can use to gather gold, redstone, and diamonds. And diamonds are where it's at, but that will take some time. All right, let's see what's in this chest. More bread. That's great. Oh my gosh, and potatoes. So what I just did here, let me show you how I just did that. So I can grab an item, any item that is not a potato, from my inventory. I can shift and I can double click, and that will grab every single one of the items from the chest and put it into my inventory. So that's going to be great. We can plant that those potatoes. This is a spruce sapling. I'm not going to take that because getting spruce saplings is easy peasy. We will get spruce saplings in a few minutes because we want to be able to plant what's called a spruce megatree. And what's great about spruce megatrees is that you get tons of wood from them. This right here is a smoker. We want to take this. A smoker is made in a crafting table by putting a furnace and logs, and then you get a smoker. But since we found one, we don't have to make one. And what's fabulous about a smoker is that it cooks our food way faster than the furnace and takes less fuel. So it cooks things more efficiently and takes less fuel. And that is something that is so fabulous. We want that because in the early game, anything to save fuel is so helpful. These villagers are going to fall to their death. If you're brand new to Minecraft, you're going to learn so fast how simple villagers are. They all share one brain cell. It's crazy. Here's more potatoes. I want to grab those. This is a pumpkin seed. We'll definitely take that. And we will definitely take the rest of these sweet berries. This spruce log, I'm debating. I don't know if I'm going to keep it just because I don't feel like I need it. Well, actually, you know what? No, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open my inventory crafting. I'm going to plop those spruce logs in there. I'm going to shift click. And I'm just going to turn these into sticks. Because, oh, nope. I'm going to turn that into sticks. So the way that you do that is you take half of it, right click, it's going to split the stack in half, and you do half and half, like that, and shift click. And now I've got a bunch of sticks, and I've just saved a spot in my inventory, which is excellent. Okay. So we came up. I do want to grab these pumpkins. What's great about these pumpkins is that later I'll make shears and you'll see what we're going to turn the pumpkins into. But for now, they're just a really good thing to have. We can get more pumpkin seeds from them, and we can make pumpkins into something extra special. Let's see. What's in here? Okay. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take these 4 saplings. Take another potato. And I'm not going to take those iron nuggets because 2 iron nuggets isn't very useful. Can I ever come in here? Excuse me, guys. Yeah, I'd like to come inside. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Yes! This is the jackpot right here. This is the jackpot right here. Yep. I'm gonna exchange that stone sword. Yeah. I'm gonna leave the obsidian. Oh, should I take it? I should take it. Take the apples. Obsidian. Oh my gosh. So, shift, click, shift, click. And of course, you can just drag and drop. Shift clicking is just faster. We now have half a body of armor. That means that we are halfway to being that much more protected. Woohoo! Okay. Let's come down here. This is a church, I think that's what they're usually called. This is a brewing stand. And this is like way advanced. We're not going to take this because we don't need it. But a brewing stand with glass bottles and various ingredients, you can create potions. And potions are how you help yourself to advance in the game. There's so many different kinds of potions. I personally have never actually brewed potions. I've just never gotten to that point in the game. Never gotten to a point in the game where I wanted to work with potions. Okay, let's... Oh, so you saw that? I touched it, and it hurt me. And the reason why I didn't take health damage is because of the armor. So you see, though, the armor took some damage. I want to be really careful. I don't want to damage this armor. I just got it. I do want these sweet berries, though, because those are going to be awesome. Okay. I want to make sure that I have explored all the houses in this village before we move on. So a lot of them look the same, so I don't know. I don't really remember which ones I've explored. Some people will leave the doors open of the houses that they explored. I don't like doing that because I don't want mobs to end up getting inside. Oh my gosh, I almost fell. To end up getting inside the houses and killing the villagers. Okay, oh my gosh, that is so dangerous. Let's see. Oh, an emerald. I don't think I'm gonna take that. It's a pumpkin pie. We can eat that later. That'll be fun. The emerald is really great because you can, it's the currency that the villagers use. Oh, I'm so silly. This is all one house. You know what? Oh, bookshelves are really great. We aren't going to steal these because that's like way ahead for us right now. But eventually. Bookshelves are how you are one of the ingredients that you need to build an enchanting room. Okay, I feel like I've hit all the houses. I really do. This is sugarcane. When you break it, you get 3 pieces of sugarcane like that. And now you see we have new recipes. One of them is you can actually turn sugarcane into sugar. And that's an ingredient that you need to make pumpkin pie, for example. Also, 3 sugarcane in a crafting table makes paper. And you need paper and leather to craft books. Alright. I think we've gotten all that we can out of this village. Our inventory is full, which means that it is time to find somewhere to have a starter base. So that's the next part of this adventure. We want to find where we want to settle down for a little while to build our starter base. So that's going to be kind of the last main step of this first episode of the beginner Minecraft tutorial series. Find a place to build a starter base and set up camp. And we won't be building a starter house in this episode, but we will build one in the next episode. Okay, it looks like nighttime is actually starting to come. So I think, oh yeah, woo, way nighttime. All right. So the rain should stop. There we go. Awesome. Okay. I really need to get my bearings now. So I need to try to get up somewhere. I want to see. Oh, there's a kitty. That's another thing. Cats spawn in villages, and you can tame a cat and it becomes your pet when you feed it raw fish. Some cats take more raw fish than others. It's similar to taming wolves. Wolves take bones to become dogs. Cats take fish, and they're always a cat, so they never change into something else. Let's see how high up I can get. I do love spruce. It's probably one of my favorite woods to work with in the game. All right. Ooh. That looks promising. I have Optifine. I talked about it briefly in the beginning of this video. I have another tutorial on my channel where I teach you how to install Optifine so that you have a feature like this where you can click C and you get to zoom in. Without Optifine, you can't do this. You would have to make a spyglass, and that requires several ingredients that do take some time to get. Also with Optifine, you get what's called dynamic light, which is the reason why I keep my torches in my offhand so that I always have light. Okay. So I know that there's like dark oak forest that way. I don't want to go that way. We've got birch and oak over there. This is taiga. I think I want to go that way. I am debating whether or not I want to stay kind of closer to the village, because eventually in this series I will teach you how to work with villagers. So I do think I want to be close enough to the village that it's easy to get to, but far enough that if later on in the series, if we're awake at night mining, we don't cause the villagers to all die because of being awake at night, which is when evil mobs spawn, hostile mobs spawn at night, and they will kill your villagers. And even though villagers spawn iron golems, when they're scared, they spawn iron golems, and the iron golems do protect them, but the iron golems can only do so much, and after taking enough damage, they can die. You can repair an iron golem by feeding it actual iron ingot. And there are some farms that you can actually create with villagers, a zombie, and yeah, you can make an iron farm that way. But that's all for later. I think I'm far enough from the village where we won't affect them. I do think I want to come kind of across the river over here. And again, I should be using my boat. I go on autopilot. Okay. I'm gonna come down the river because I don't want to Like, the village is that way. I really don't want to cause any problems to the village, so let's see. This is actually looking like such a great area to live in because we've got the mountains, which are excellent for mining. We've got water, we've got forest. The only thing we don't have is like open space. But because we have so much forest here, we can create open space by taking down the trees that we need, and we can use the trees that we take down as building blocks. So maybe we will make this our starter base. I'm gonna run through here a little bit and kind of see what we're working with. This is a good forest. Birch and oak. Good woods to work with. Good building blocks. There are a lot of people who really hate on birch. It's not the prettiest wood in the game, but it works. I mean, when you need a lot of chests or barrels or sticks, birch is very helpful. And you know what's hilarious? We were just here. I planted that. So I actually think that we just went in a circle, which is perfectly fine. And that means that we've got a good starter place. And the village is that way. So now we know. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is... Oh, and see, there went the axe. So I have the axe that I made earlier. I'm going to go ahead and take down some trees to kind of clear up a space for us to put down a starter camp. And I say a starter camp because we're not going to build a starter house in this episode like I already said, but we do want to set up some chests, put our bed down, put some torches, put our furnace and smoker, kind of set up a little campsite, so to speak. And I'm probably out of inventory space, and these are probably their chests landing on the ground. Okay, cool. What am I willing to drop? Pumpkin pie. Okay. Let me go ahead and put my bed down. I'm gonna just put it there because I want to grab the pumpkin pie before it despawns. I really want that. Let me put down my crafting table, and I'm going to build I'm going to craft some chests. If these are not popping up in your inventory or in your crafting recipe list, they're very easy to make. You just need to grab your planks and just drop them like that. And that was using the right click, and you will get a chest. So I need more wood. Oops. So let me turn these into planks. And I want to make a double chest. There we go. And now I can drop all the stuff that I don't need to have on me right now. I can drop them in here. Actually, let me keep that because I'm going to set those up. Drop that. And yeah, I think that's good. Okay. I'll keep that with me. Put those iron there. Put those there. I'll keep these tools on me. And I'll go ahead and put these down. I'm going to take down this tree. And I'm just going to take a moment and set up a little starter campsite. Those are actually a lot easier. You can actually very easily break leaves can also just let them decay on their own. Okay, and now let me go ahead and put down a couple torches, light up our area. I will keep one in my offhand to always have light with me, just because it's easier. I always want to pick up the sticks, because you're always going to need sticks for something. And this way you get free sticks and you don't have to spend your wood on making sticks all the time. Break those. Okay, now let me go ahead and make some more. I'll make 2 more pieces of charcoal, because I think I would like to make a few more torches. Actually, looks like the sun's setting, so. Oop. Go, 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 go. Can I sleep yet? No, not yet. Not yet. It's hard to tell sometimes once it's dark enough to sleep. There we go. Okay. So that is another day and night. There we go. All right. So I like kind of keeping my little starter campsite stuff kind of together. I'm going to click E to open my inventory. I'm going to click on the torch. And I'm just going to craft 4 more torches. And that way I have 5 torches in my offhand. I don't want to waste all of my charcoal. I just want to, I don't know why I opened the chest. I just want to have a few more and then keep these. The last thing I always like to have in my inventory is a crafting table. And, oh, you know what? We actually have enough iron to do this. So let me grab 3 iron. I'm going to open my crafting table. And if you drop 3 iron in a V shape, you get a bucket. And the reason we want a bucket is because, oop, let me not fall to my death. Not for that. We want a bucket so that we can, this is so anticlimactic. Oh my gosh. Water. We want water. That's why we want a bucket. Because now with the bucket, we can plant our wheat seed. And you're going to see how and why in just a second. So, let me break this here. Do I have my wheat seed? I don't. Let me grab my wheat seed. This is one of the most exciting parts for me. I find this to be one of the most exciting parts of the early game, is being able to plant your first crops. I always like to break enough trees right around my area just so that I have enough space to work with. Okay, so here is what you need to do. You're going to break a piece of grass. You're going to right click your bucket and pour the water in. Then you're going to take your hoe and you're going to hoe 4 out. Only 4. Any more and the very last ones will not become saturated by this water block. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, because it's Minecraft logic, you can go up to 4 diagonally. And everything in between will become saturated. And I can keep doing this in every direction and end up with this fabulous farming plot where I can grow my crops. And all of this will be saturated by this one block of water. That cow's looking at me like he knows what's coming. One, two, three, four. Okay, so this one will end up drying off on its own. There we go. Okay, cool. Let me take down this tree so it's not in my way. Now, I made this farm plot way bigger than I really needed. I just wanted to illustrate for you how far out, like how big of a space one block of water can saturate. Like, this is a lot of space. This is a 5, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a 100. 10 by 10, right? So 100 blocks. Am I doing that math correctly? 10 by 10? I'm not good with mental math. Anyway, so now we can plant our wheat seed. When you're first planting your wheat seed, you want to kind of stagger them because they will grow faster. The next thing I want to do, oh, let me run around here, grab the saplings, grab the sticks, the apples. Definitely don't want to waste anything in the early game. The last thing I want to do right now is make a slab. So all I did was come to my crafting table. And because I already have planks, I can click on the slab here. And I can create a slab. If the recipe isn't showing up for you, all you need to do is plop 3 planks in the middle horizontally, and you will end up with 6 slabs. Essentially, the crafting table chopped each plank in half. Unfortunately, the Minecraft logic doesn't go much further than that, but some items, when you craft them, make no sense. Like, the result just doesn't make any sense, but that's just how it is. So the reason I wanted to make that slab is because slabs can be waterlogged, which means I can click right here on top of the water hole that I made. I can switch my hand to something else so that I don't place another block, for example, at my sword. And then I can right click and that will activate my offhand so I can put a torch. And now I've got some light over here, and this light, in addition to the sun, will help my crops to grow. Not to mention, it'll also help to add some light to this area to protect from mobs spawning on this area. So there we go. Our first little garden. So the last thing that I want to do for this episode is make an infinite water source. So I'm going to run down to the river. And I'm just sprinting and jumping because I like to go fast. Oh, right here. I'm going to come down here. And because I only have one bucket, I will have to do more than one trip. But I'm okay with that, because as soon as I do this trip one more time, I will forever have infinite water over here in my little starter base. Infinite water is very easy to make. There are several ways to make it. I'm going to choose, I'm going to show you both ways. So the first way is by breaking a 1x3 spot. You'll put one source of water on one end, and the other source of water will go onto this end. And what will happen is this middle block will become an infinite water source. The reason I'm not going to actually use that one is because I prefer this method, which turns the entire little square into an infinite water source. So I'm going to plop my bucket of water into that corner, and I'm going to run down before the sun sets. I'm going to run down to the river, and I'm going to get another bucket of water. And quickly create my square infinite water source. Because I don't want to have to always run down. I got stuck under a tree. I don't want to have to always run down to the river. Okay, so right there is our first water source block. So here on the opposite diagonal square, I'm going to plop my water, and now I have infinite water forever and ever and ever and ever. And I don't have to worry about deleting it. Because what happens, the only downside with that 1x3 is that you have to take water from the middle block. So let me illustrate that for you. So with a 1x3, I put a source of water on one side and a source of water on the other. Now I can only take water from this middle section. If I were to take water from one of the sides, that's it. My infinite water goes away. So it is becoming nighttime again. Let me go sleep. So we've got our infinite water. We've got our starter vegetable field. Oh, I almost forgot. We have potatoes. Let me plant these potatoes. Plant the potatoes. Plant the sugar cane. Plant a pumpkin seed. I'm gonna plant everything. Hey, dude, you're in my way, okay? Okay, let me do some potatoes. I'm planting all of them because I want lots of potatoes. Okay, and now I can come over here out of the way and plant my pumpkin. I have no idea which direction it's going to grow. It might end up growing on one of these tilled blocks, but that's fine. And then over here, if I jump onto this tilled block here and I go ahead and untill it, because I have a source of water under this piece of wood, I can plant my sugarcane there. Isn't that amazing? Sugarcane has to be planted right next to a source of water. Let me go ahead and break. Come on. There we go. And I'll go ahead and put my wheat seed there. So there we go. So now I've got sugarcane growing, I've got some wheat growing, I've got my potatoes, and I've got a pumpkin over there. Now I can go ahead and plant some sweet berries around. These are going to really add some protection around my area. Of course, I have to be careful not to run into them too. So I think I'll, well, let's see. Maybe I'll... These leaves weren't decaying because they are attached to another tree. And so long as they're attached to wood, logs, they won't decay. Maybe I'll do that. Oh, and I've gotten 2 more wheat seed from breaking those grass blocks, so I'm gonna plant those. Okay, I'm going to keep the rest of the sweet berries as a snack. And those will just grow infinitely. And we'll always have sweet berries. Okay, let me eat a pork chop. All right, so let's go ahead and review what we've accomplished. So in this episode, we explored, we learned how to use a crafting table, we learned how to grab cobblestone, we found a village, we learned the importance of sleeping at night so that we don't end up dying. We made a bed, we planted a field, a small farm. We've got some crops growing. We've got some sweet berries growing around. We've got an infinite water source. We've got a really beautiful starter camp location. We've got a taiga forest back there. We have a river. We've got mountains. We've got beautiful, beautiful forests. And back that way, we have a village. So we are on a really good starting path to this beautiful new world that we're in. And honestly, it's really exciting because there's just still so much for us to do and for us to learn. Like the things that we've learned in this episode, it really is just the beginning. So I really hope that you enjoyed this first episode of a super beginner Minecraft tutorial survival series. I'm really excited to be creating this series for you guys, and I hope that you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy creating it. And I cannot wait to see you in my next episode. If you have any questions or if you have any specific things that you want me to teach you in the upcoming episodes, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Like this video, share it with friends who want to learn how to play Minecraft, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye!